What's up, guys? When we left off, we were on a boat. The prince, he was all like, I'm a prince. But then out of nowhere, they got shot. And that made Prince go, angry face. But as it turns out, their captain is quite traditionally dressed, if you catch my drift. The prince is all like, and despite the rain and the hurricane wind speed, she is just working it. And by the look of Prince's face, quite well. And then she speaks.
Kill him.
And that, boys and girls, is where we left off. Which, by the way, if you're under 18, you probably shouldn't be watching these episodes. But, you know what? I forgive you. So as you can see here, we're getting into some combat. And I've got to say, even though it's pretty hard to get used to, I mean, there's a pretty steep learning curve. This is technically the tutorial stage. I've disabled all the messages and whatnot for your convenience. But you know, it plays pretty well, at least aesthetically. But controls, they could be tighter, let me just say that. I am playing the PC version of this from Steam, so keyboard mouse not really recommended. I would definitely opt for a gamepad. But as for the game, you can see we're getting bombarded over here. In a little bit, yeah, here we go. Let's get a dual-wielded weapon. Now, this is where the fun begins. It unlocks new combos, new grabs, new everything. But these enemies, they keep spawning. They're trying to ruin my day. Oh, cutscenes. Now, there are a few things this game does very well. Cutscenes are not one of them. Very, contrary to Dead Space. Look, watch this. Totally, right? This is like Avatar status. I'm just joking. But yeah, as you can see, most of the in-game cutscenes are terrible, and I'm going to be cutting them out for your convenience. I mean, it's not so much that they're bad, but just the sound effects, they're horrible. The saving grace is, of course, the metal. As you can probably tell, I'm a huge metalhead, and let's kill this guy, strangle him to death. Heck yeah. Couple more turns of the neck and dead. Very nice, very nice. So, if you are new to the series, Prince of Persia, then all you really have to know is that from part 1, he released the times and then he basically the timeline. And yeah, that's where we are today. He's trying to fix things, make things right. However, as with Ninja Gaiden, you're not going to want to play this game for its riveting storyline. Trust me, it's really hard to keep track of going back in time, going back to the future. We'll get to see that a little bit later though, trust me. But check this out, this guy's got her back. Surely he can at least do some... Oh, never mind. Yeah, cutscenes of Prince of Persia Warrior Within, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, if they're absolutely pathetic like that, I'm going to be cutting them out. You guys don't want to see it, and they, quite frankly, destroy the pacing of this game. But coming up, we have our first boss battle, which is not terribly difficult, granted, but they're extremely repetitive. And hey, I think we got a cutscene, so enjoy.
Never reach our shores alive.
For your sake, you better hope I don't.
Did I say cutscene? I meant bad scene. Anyways, yeah, voice acting absolutely terrible in this game, but again, you're not playing this game for the story, remember. But moving on, basic strat for this boss, just block until you have an opening, and that's pretty much all you can really do. I mean, you can jump over it like this, and slash it from the back, but, you know, that's not very honorable. Well put, Prince, well put. So, if you're OCD, then you may be watching the health bar. You might notice that I'm gonna be cutting a lot of this fight out. Trust me, you're not missing anything. All we're really watching is the first 5 seconds over and over and over, and what I'm trying to do here is actually bait her out because you do not want to fight her by the wall. She will mess you up. That wasn't a glitch, I was just trying to taunt her. But yeah, check this out. I can't really even get close to her before she unloads on me. But you know, just hold up your block button and you are golden. This should just about do it. Let me see, and yes.
It seems the Empress overestimated your abilities.
The Empress? My sword! Chest, face, penis! She freaking launched him with that last kick. Man, I feel bad for the prince.
The Island of Time.
Ah yes, the Islands of Time, as we drift peacefully away to slumber.
The sands were created. The place from which the Maharaja stole the hourglass.
Indeed.
And what if I could reach this island?
What if? No time for hypotheticals, Prince.
The Maharaja found portals there, where one could pass backwards through time.
Portal? Can we play Wheatley?
To the birthplace of the sands. Something terrible happened when our army traveled to the Maharaja's palace.
You found the sands of time.
No. I mean, yes.
Whosoever shall open the sands must die.
I was forced to kill those I fought beside. Those I had loved.
Giggity.
Now an unstoppable beast chases you.
Well, I wouldn't say unstoppable, more like invincible and unkillable.
I am afraid.
And you will die.
I used the sands themselves to reverse time, making it as if the hourglass was never opened.
Because that's totally not a paradox.
The beast, the Dahaka, is the guardian of the timeline. You were supposed to die, so it will catch you and see to it that you meet your fate.
Yeah, I got nothing.
It is better to try than to wait here for death.
Madness. Even if you manage to reach the island, you'll still have to face the Empress of Time.
I will travel back in time and prevent the sands from ever being made. If there are no sands, the Dahaka will have no quarrel with me.
Well, that makes sense.
Go then, my prince. But know this. Your journey will not end well. You cannot change your fate. No man can.
Ugh, hangover. I shouldn't have drinking all that water. Well, come on, Prince, we've got some work to do. Birds, get out of my face. Man, those things are freaking huge. They got some like 5-foot wingspan. Oh, my sword is gone. I know. I'll use this stick. Yeah, now I'm styling. Now don't worry, the birds are not going to be a huge part of this game. They're mostly just there for ambiance and typically won't engage you in combat, but when they do, they are freaking annoying. But very uncommon, otherwise I'd probably rage quit a long time ago. But here we go, getting into the game. Let's climb up there, Prince. Now, one thing this game does do well is acrobatics. Not only in combat, but like just general problem solving. Oh, and here we have our first save station. Now, I'm only going to show this one time, so pay attention, guys. I'm just joking. Nothing too glamorous. If anything, just waste time. So yeah, I'm going to be cutting them out from here on on. Here on? Ha! Fine. Okay, so getting around the world is one of the biggest parts of the gameplay, and quite frankly, they mix it up and make it interesting. But for now, I'm going to be leaving a lot of this uncut. In later episodes, however, if puzzles become very tedious or just slow, I'm just going to show you the main highlights. But yeah, like I said, for now, let's keep it raw, keep it fresh. Now, most of the time the camera does work with you, but that's not always the case. You will see in a little bit. Here, I'm getting a little glitched out. But hey, we managed to get up there in the end, and that's all that matters. Oh, hey, check this out, wall running. This is one of my favorite mechanics in the game. You know, I got a funny story. I actually tried some wall running myself in my youth. Oh, some pillar climbing, just explain that. But yeah, okay, here's the story. It was at school, during a theater class, and, oh, artwork. Keep getting interrupted. But yeah, at school, outdoors, and I wanted to try wall running. I thought, hey, that looks pretty cool. Maybe I can do it myself. So, I got a running head start, and for some reason, I wanted to start at like the corner of the building. You know, most buildings are square, or at least have a corner. But yeah, so I went for it. I took it at a sprint, and I biffed it. I biffed it hard. Yeah, like all my friends were there, all these chicks from my theater class, all the hot ones, you know. But, you know, I recovered. I took it like a man. I took it on the chin. Tried to put on a strong face. In fact, that's how I met my first ex. But that's a story for another day. That is definitely a story for another day. Oh, this is my favorite move in the game. Wall running and jumping off. I just think that looks so cool. I mean, physically impossible as it is, it looks pretty cool. Here we are fighting some more sand monsters. You'll notice that whenever I kill them, that they drop little glowy orbs. Some of them do. But they're not important right now. If you're a fan of the series or if you've seen the movie, which, by the way, Disney butchered. But that's a rant for another day. What those things are, they're called sand, well, obviously. We can't really use them right now because our ability hasn't been activated yet, but that'll be explained hopefully by the end of this video. Try to make it under 15 minutes. No promises though, so let's get over here and trigger another cutscene. He's still using his stick, I'd almost forgotten. Castle von Jessestein. If you get that reference, then you are awesome. Now, voice acting, again, not Britney Spears status, but hey, you gotta work with what you gotta work with. This guy's, he's monologuing, and he's gonna pull a Morpheus over here. Check this out. I love this. Haha! But wait. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but that was actually me playing right there. No, I'm just joking. I wasn't. But, oh, new item, a new sword, finally. Thank you. The spider sword, I believe. Yes. This basically allows you to do more damage, gives you a new combo, but otherwise, absolutely the same thing. Now, the main thing that I use is dual wield, mostly because that allows you to do AoE attacks, like attacking multiple enemies at a time. Sorry for using WoW lingo if you're not a professional. But check these out. I am going to be cutting down fights a little bit later, just because, well, I'll be honest with you, I am not very good at this game. I wish I was a little bit better, but yeah, I can survive. I'll probably die a few times, but you're not going to see any of that. So, nice, very nice, Prince. I love when he goes into that. But yeah, for the most part, I'm going to be editing out all my fail and try to give you a smooth run. You know, usually I would accept a request if you guys wanted to see it, but not this time, not this time. It's just... yeah. Anyways, moving on. Let's chase that very mean lady. Oh, new enemy type. This guy, he's really tedious to fight. All you have to do is jump over him and basically rinse and repeat. So I'm gonna cut it out. Try to get a nice aerial view. Boom. Very nice, very nice. Now, the annoying thing about this guy is he goes from place to place, but in some places, well, in most places, you can actually skip him altogether. But I'll fight him just for the sake of it, for good old times. I wish I had some assassin blades. That would be totally cool if I just straight up murdered that guy from the sky. That was always my favorite move in Assassin's Creed. You know, like when you jump from the top. But hey, check this out. Cool little puzzle. Like, you run one way and then you can get a little bit more height and run back. You basically get to a new area. Yeah, like I said, this game, well, I don't know if you'd call it exploration, but like, level design is really good. Enemies, on the other hand, not so much. I know here it looks like I killed him in literally 2 hits. But no, it took me at least a good minute or 2 to kill that guy, to whittle him down. But let's keep on moving, let's keep our spirits up. We're gonna get a couple more enemies down here and I'm gonna try cutting out a little bit. You know, cause like I said, I'm not so great at this game and I'm just gonna give you the highlights. Like that. Very nice. Decapitation, always cool, especially in slow motion. But off we go after we take care of those guys. Now, if you're curious, then exploration isn't really all that rewarded. I mean, there was that chest, which I unlocked a little bit earlier, but that's just artwork. I mean, it's no Pablo Picasso, but not really worth your time, if you ask me. But let's strangle this guy. Heck yeah, take his sword and cut his head off. You know, I've always thought that a good melee fighter was better than a good shooter, but that's just my opinion. I think this game does death animations very well. So, moving right along. Sorry if it feels like I'm rushing things, but I really want to get to like something of a milestone, which is right around the corner, literally right around the corner. Drop down here, and keep in mind how run down this place is. That'll come into play a little bit later, but ooh, spike pit of death. I didn't stop to look, but there's actually spikes down there, and if you jump down there, you're gonna die. These things there, all worn and broken, so not an obstacle for us, but let's get on in here.
Madness! What magic is this?
So, here we are in the past. Face! Always in the freaking face! But hey, don't you guys worry, we will get to kill her soon enough. Oh hey, check it out, a new ability, Recall. Now, this is like the... I don't want to say the defining feature of Prince of Persia, but it's the defining feature of Prince of Persia. The ability to rewind time. Don't get me wrong, there's going to be a few more abilities, some really cool abilities coming up soon. But for now, I just want to show you guys one thing very quickly before we take off. You'll notice that these things are fixed and they're easy enough to avoid, just be patient and... oh, Spike Pit of Death, you remember this thing? Well, now we can do this. Let's jump off and... dead. But wait, Rhine powers activate. Heck yeah, man. See you guys next time.